Hey guys, it's Twinklebutt. We're back with the Technomancer, and we are before the very first boss fight. Now, I'm going to show you two different ways to fight him. One is the more respectable, legitimate way, and one is kind of cheesy. But once you drop down, you can't go any further. So make sure you're committed, and you got to clear out all these little dudes first. Now, that won't play a big part in the first strategy, but in the second strategy, it'll make a lot more sense how we do things in a certain order that we do them. But for now, just try to focus on not taking any damage. Alright, now we have the Great Madness here. As you can tell, he's got that big throbbing heart in the center, and that's where we want to go, because any attacks on the side do a lot less reduced damage. However, hitting him in his chest will actually cause him to recoil. So all you gotta do, when you see it coming, is just keep dodging out of his attacks. You can't use the shield and sword, because you'll still take damage from it. Unless you have incredible timing like that. I highly recommend just using the staff and or the dagger for this, but I prefer the staff. And you'll see on the side as we start attacking, these little dudes will show up. Your dodge gives you a few frames of vulnerability, so it's all about timing them correctly. You want to look out for these big guys. And whenever you're feeling threatened, just use one of your health packs that you've accumulated. When he does those big sweeping strikes, he'll actually hit everything around him. We're taking damage from the radio there. If you dodge the side like what I'm doing, you should be able to avoid most of the damage. Now when you see him curl up like that, get out of the way. He's about to rampage. Let me take another health drop so I don't suddenly die. I'm going to use the gun here to take out some of these guys. Alright. Looking kind of low. Let's top ourselves off and get back in there. One thing we can do is attack them from the side if we're using the staff. Okay, now he's curled up. Let's back off. Give him lots of space while he just does his little dance and parades around the area. And now that he's open, let's go for it. We actually got him on the ropes right now. There we go. Down for the count.
bore witness to the secret with your own eyes, who knows in your heart of hearts that the revelation that he bears is true, and who has understood that this knowledge could cast us into endless pits of despair. As you drink the sap of the world, the water that feeds our lives, abandon the one you thought you were, and instead become our brother, Zachariah Mancer. Together we have shared the water and secret. Can you swear to forever protect the knowledge of the Earth and to dedicate your life to finding it again? To defend and protect our secret, even with the sacrifice of your life, if need be?
I swear.
Then welcome, my brother.
I know you must be troubled by what you've learned, and I assure you that it's no less troubling to me. But be proud of what you are, and know, no matter what, we are by your side. And that this initiation, as horrid as it may be, makes you forever our brother.
You showed the courage of lions beneath the dome, and for it, you have been made an officer. So I imagine, now that you no longer need my guidance, it will send me elsewhere, with the great and endless pride of having been your teacher over these few years.
The honor was mine, Master.
No, not Master. It's just Sean now.
Go. Take your assignment as an officer. Count the blessings you've amounted, those that allowed you to avoid the front thus far. Captain Eliza is waiting in the barracks. She's harsh, but fair. But before you find her, we all know the regulations. Technomancers get no leave from the front in times of war. So being here, I can't even sneeze without a report being written up. But you have a free pass. I need you to go to the exchange district for me. There's an itinerant merchant there who was supposed to arrive yesterday. Just meet with him. The merchants have no ties to abundance and travel among us like shadows. They hear things, whisper things, and pay people to forget they are there. I'm looking for information on any archaeological discoveries that could expose the Earthlings. Information that would help protect our secret. Ask him if they've heard of any such finds.
Yes, Great Master, as you wish.
Good, Zachariah. But take care that not a single soul knows what you're after. Not a single soul can hear your exchange with the merchants.
Oh, right. So after that very lengthy cutscene, we are done with the tutorial. We are on our own. We now have the access to the very first stage of the game, Abundance, the great city in the middle of the desert. Now, something important to note. We have... Our first mission is to go report to our captain, but be careful. If you do this, it'll actually start you on a quest that's timed. So we'll want to save that for a little later. I want to do a little bit of exploring and get a little bit of gear. For our first, we didn't actually level up. I'm surprised. I thought we would have leveled up from that. Now, before we do anything else, though, I'm going to save, and then I'm going to go back and actually show you the other way to fight the boss. We took him fair and square, but there's actually a more interesting method I'd like to share with you guys, so I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are, back in the dome. We fought him pretty honestly last time, but we got a different kind of trick this time. Now, it's very important that when you kill these guys, you leave at least one alive. Don't kill the last one. And make sure you're doing this with your staff, because you're going to need the right click. Now, one thing that I haven't talked about yet are the traps. You'll see those bound to my number 5 key. You put them down, and they're exactly like a trip mine. When enemies walk over them, they take a lot of damage and they get blown backwards. One thing we can do, though, since pretty much no matter what, he's going to show up in the middle, we can put down a couple of mines right where he's going to spawn. And as long as we're careful not to let this guy walk on any of them, we should have a really gross surprise. Now, I've found about 3 of them. You may find more depending on what difficulty you're playing on. But just to show how effective this can be, I'm going to put all 3 down. And now, I'm going to skip this cutscene. You should notice a pretty cool fireworks display. And that is how you fight that boss. Alright, welcome back. As you saw there, we lined up a pretty nasty explosion for that stupid madness guy. And if you have any trouble with him, just use that. That'll clear him out. This is the hardest difficulty, and you saw we basically skipped the entire fight. Now, I'm going to go over, check out the kind of gear that we have, and what we can equip, and talk about what we're going to do in the next couple of episodes. So, we do want to hang on to this because of the crafting, but we can sell everything else that we don't have equipped. And these worker shoes, the fluid regeneration really isn't that important, but the physical resistance can be. We'll hang on to those boots in case I change my mind, but as far as I can tell at this point, we have enough overall physical resistance that's worth stacking. So now we're dressed up like a worker. I'm not going to sell off the cadet stuff. I'm going to hang on to it just in case. But what we're going to be looking to do now is we're not going to go straight to Elisa. You can tell because of that exclamation point on our map. Instead, I'm going to show you a little bit of abundance. There's actually 3 different tiers to it. And we're going to do some exploring. We're going to pick up a couple of items along the way. Now, because we didn't pick up lockpicking, we're not going to be able to get everything that we need. But with some luck, we'll be able to pick up a skill point and a couple of items that will help us out. In the meantime, we're going to be doing all the mini quests that we can get our hands on before we start doing the main quests. Then I'm going to focus on those. Then right before we finish the last one, I'll switch and we can start doing whatever side quests we have left. But this is a great stopping point. I'll meet you in the next episode. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you later.